That's what I mean about choosing to be single. As soon as I get a whiff of somebody like bringing me down, I think, next!
In the bin with you.
Goodbye. What's your name again?
Babes.
Hi, darling.
How are you?
Mangled. Next question. But Christmas mangled.
Christmas mangoes.
I feel like you can put the word Christmas in front of anything and it makes it softer.
Yeah,
Christmas jet lagged.
but powering through.
Powering through and loving it. And if I told my younger self that things would get so mental, I would just be like, oh, yes.
Yeah. So you've got to brace it, live in the moment.
Yeah, you've got to.
Well, I mean, ding dong, merrily on high. You've got your own Christmas special.
Yeah.
It's the season of giving and receiving, and you are giving this season.
Thanks.
You are giving us high notes, the sequins, the comedy, the cameos, a heavy seasoning of Christmas camp, which is what we love. It's called Hannah Waddingham Home for Christmas, and it feels like a homecoming for you in so many different ways.
It is.
What does home mean to you? And is it a place or is it a person or a group of people?
It's people. I even say that at the beginning of the special. I say that Christmas is you lot to me. The people that I chose to be there. You know, the fact that I didn't say it during the special, but my mum, bless her, is heavily inflicted with Parkinson's disease. But the reason why we were in that theatre is because from the age of 8, I was in that theatre with her as a little girl, like a sponge, soaking up all these glorious voices and the orchestra, running around talking to the loo attendants and the canteen staff and the crew. And that's where I learnt my craft. And so Apple was so great in holding out for that theatre. And I kept saying, yes, I know there's the magnificent places in the world, but it has to be in this place. So to have everyone that I love most in the world, from the famouses, as I call them, to my friends that are nothing to do with this industry. One of my best friends is the manager of a cafe that I go to for my quiet time. To have all that spectrum of people there from different worlds in that room was just incredible. And then to have my little girl in the box that I sat in from the age of 8, just watching her mummy where I watched mine, and then my mum sitting there. It was just insane. You couldn't have made it up. It's like my old school life of theatre and 8 shows a week and handpicking all those dancers, all the band are the very best of the West End. They really are. And they're real grafters. To go back to that world that I was so much of a part of, but on a TV platform, those two worlds coming together, I honestly pinch myself now. When I watch it, I just think, I can't believe this has finally been realised.
And it's so important to do that for yourself and for your family and to be out there and showing everyone you can be a single mum, you can get up on that stage and you can do it.
But you know what's equally important to me? You say about the high campery of it. Yes, there is the high camp of it, but I also wanted, like, the London Gay Men's Chorus there. I'm a patron of theirs. I wanted to show it's also not just about the gay campery of them either. They are all brilliant artists. They give of their time all the time. 80 of them joined me on that stage. Just brilliant talents with their hearts so much in the right place. It's why I wanted the fabulous Lounge Swingers, who are 2 of the great loves of my life. They've been married for about 10 years. They're a gay couple who've been together since they were 15. They have this band called the Fabulous Lounge Swingers. And for my daughter to see her 2 godfathers on that stage, easily the most successful relationship and marriage that I know, I had to document that as well.
That is so special. And that's what true allyship is about.
Right.
And then when we're talking about family and coming home for Christmas and that being people for you, community, especially in the gay community and allyship
100%.
is so
it's the family
important.
that you choose.
How important has that been, that relationship for you in your life?
Oh, so important. It's completely in my system. So whilst there is the gloss and the glamour and the camp of it, I wanted to show how important the LGBTQ community are to me, and to shine a light on their brilliance and their kind hearts.
And I think as well, you have that, and then you also then have your Ted Lasso family.
Yes.
Turning up for you, left, right and centre, bringing the comedy.
Being big old Christmas hams.
Which was stunning. Loved it. Is it something that's so special and important to you that you go places where you can find family? Because that's what it felt like when I was watching it. I was like, it seems like something you always look for in what you do.
It is, but I think like-minded people find each other. It's not something that I seek out, but I can smell a good egg a mile off. and by the same token, a bad egg, and I just avoid negativity in my life. The Ted Lasso clan, we put out a blanket offer, basically for all of them to come and join me. And they nearly all did. The ones who didn't are working
Yeah.
and couldn't make it. But it was just literally to the point where we're a bit like, oh my God, there's going to be so many of them on stage.
What are we going to do with them?
What are we going to do with them all? But seeing those guys rehearsing with their, Christmas canes and in their DJs, I was just like, this lot are basically like theatrical turns and they don't even realise they are.
Yeah. And I just loved it. It felt like the inside of your head coming out onto the screen.
Yeah.
It's stunning. I want to live inside your head, babes.
You're welcome.
Sequins here, a little bit tinsel.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
absolutely.
Loving
Yeah.
it.
And a gang from a big band. Oh, yes. It's a show.
Morning, noon and night, 24/7.
Yeah, it's true. It's
365
true.
days
But
of the year.
why would you want to live any other way?
Babes, I mean, my head is just a permanent like gay bar up there.
Right,
Do
well,
you know what I mean?
so's mine.
Discoing around.
So's mine, and I'm not even gay. That's why you lot can't get rid of me.
Your year this year has been absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, the things you have done are just the things that people do in a whole entire career.
I know.
You presented Eurovision. We also learnt you could speak
Olivier's first.
Olivier's first, importantly.
first,
We
yeah.
also learnt you could speak perfect French. I mean,
Now, hold
the
on.
skills,
no.
babe.
I wouldn't say I can speak perfect French. I can get by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was a bit more than like my bonjour babe, so I was
I mean,
very
it
impressed.
is more than your Bonjour Babes. Yeah.
But then you've also been nominated for your second Emmy.
Third Emmy.
Third Emmy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mean to be camp,
Yeah.
but get it right.
Get it right. And now you have your own Christmas special.
Yeah.
Was there ever a point in your career where you ever wondered if this was ever going to happen to you?
Yeah. When I was literally bored with my knuckles going bare, trying to get on screen. This is why I said it in my acceptance speech at the Emmys in 2021. It just fell out of my face because it's bubbling under the surface. It was bubbling under the surface the whole time. That theatre people, certainly in this country, just not invited onto the screen. And it's ridiculous because the people that actually aren't in it for the money and it's a vocation and are interested in character and flow of character and arc are people in theatre. I know brilliant people in their 50s, 60s, 70s who've never been noticed, really, that are brilliant. So to finally be able to open that door and get onto screen, I just wanted to flag that people need to do better and look in theatre.
How much of a release has that been to you to go out there, do all the stuff you've done this year,
Yeah.
and to prove the people wrong who maybe doubted this could ever happen
Really?
to you?
Satisfying.
And off the back of that, is there maybe a rejection or a no that you maybe got in your career that's really fueled you and empowered you looking back?
Oh, the years and years of going to castings for television and them looking at my CV and going, oh, you do this singing thing.
Singing thing.
This singing thing. Yeah.
My
Yeah,
blood's
I
boiling.
do this singing thing. Do you know what? Yeah, I do this singing thing. We all do this singing thing, and none of you lot would have anywhere to go if we didn't do this singing thing sometimes. And what did everyone want to do after COVID? Go back to live theatre. So, yeah, I am theatre girl through and through. And loving my career change. But I think the two can coexist. And if TV people are encouraged to do theatre, then it should be reciprocal.
And you learned so many amazing life skills being a theatre performer. And you've done it for the best
Stamina
part of
and
2
resilience.
decades.
Yeah.
What has that taught you about endurance, do you think?
That's where it comes from,
Yeah.
for sure. And keeping my head, like you were saying, how you don't know how I've functioned over the last few days. That comes from being a theatre girl, for sure. That resilience and, being a workhorse.
Does it feel more special to achieve what you're achieving now
Yeah,
at this point of
Yeah.
your life, do you think?
it really does. It really does. I'll be 50 next year, and I can celebrate that and celebrate the fact that I've gone into everything with a full heart and given 100% to it. And I'm glad that it didn't happen when I was 20, 25, 30, because I know who I am. I don't apologise for who I am. And if I can hold the door open and let as many theatre people through with me as possible, then I will.
Do you think it's quite a toxic trait we have in our society, in a way, where we put so much pressure on people to achieve their dreams by a certain point, and especially women, do you think?
I feel like we are finally, as women, we've got this and then some. Been waiting in the wings, as it were.
That must make it the ultimate gift that you are now celebrated for being you, right?
Yeah, and that you don't have to be any one thing. I think those days are gone. It goes back to the whole triple threat thing. But it should be big screen, little screen, theatre. You are just a performer. So I love the fact that has, thankfully, those restrictions have been removed for me. And so I do just want to take people with me as much as possible. And if I do a TV show and they say, who can you think of that might be great for this? I'd go, well, this guy that's in that show.
And that's amazing that you can now reach behind and help the people coming up behind you,
that's what it's
right?
all about for me. I've got no interest in shutting the door behind me.
Pulling back, bringing those allies through.
Yeah,
that's
too
what we
right.
want to see.
Too right. I don't know how to be any other way, because it comes from theatre, that thing of being a team player. You can't do a show without the crewman on the fly floor. It's why I loved doing my special, because you see all the workings of it everywhere.
Yeah, you do. And I think what I love about the special so much, and something that I think you've really come to stand for, and I think why people are so drawn to you, is because you are such a personification of joy.
Oh, thanks,
and that is what this
Josh.
show is all
Thank
about.
you.
Have you always had that innate joy? And have you always been a positive person, or have you had to
Yes.
work at it?
I would say in my 20s and 30s, and maybe the beginning of my 40s, I would allow myself to be dimmed by negative men. And now that they can all sod off. Till someone fabulous comes along. Yeah.
That's
I'm
so
happy
true.
with my girls and my gays.
Yes! That's all you need in life, babes.
Yeah, but the gay community is positive
Yes.
and joyful.
Yes.
Yeah, and very silly. And smell fabulous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I smell fabulous though. You
mean,
can have a little sniff later. What's interesting about that though is you say that and then you arrive on Ted Lasso, which it's usually a show that I wouldn't usually watch because it's dominated by men in some ways on the surface.
Yeah.
But one of the things I love about it and what it shows is there is actually positive male role models out there.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
I think off the back of what you're saying is it's so amazing that we've actually got a show like that.
Yeah.
How amazing has it been to be part of something like that can actually show positive masculinity on our screen?
Well, I think the reason you feel that, and everyone has, is because the first thing about our writers' room, and it's a broad group of people. The first thing about all of them, every straight man in that room, they are huge feminists. So you've got that. You've got phenomenal female writers in there. You've got the American influence, but you've also got the British influence in the magnificent Brett Goldstein. You have that perfect melting pot. And there was no part of myself or my gorgeous Juno Temple who ever felt dominated by the men in it. If you think about it, she and I were the two main players in a sea of men, but never, ever once did we feel like that. I mean, if you had come on set at AFC Richmond, we are nauseatingly in love with each other, all of us. Like falling over ourselves for them to have the shot or them to have that line. And that's why I think people love it so much, because you can feel it. It drips off the screen.
And it circles back so well to the points we were making about family. And that's why it's so special.
Yeah, positivity.
100%.
Ted is all about positivity.
Yeah. And we need more of that, especially at this season, especially all the time.
And people kind of take the mickey out of being positive as like being, it can't all be this and it can't all be that. That's what I mean about choosing to be single. As soon as I get a whiff of somebody like bringing me down, I think, next!
In the bin with you.
Goodbye. What's your name again?
We're only in for the empowerment, babes. Yeah.
Crikey, really? Off you get.
Off you go.
Yeah.
And I think what's so amazing about the show as well, because, it's coming towards, it has ended now, ...
Yeah.
Hopefully not. We're praying it's
Dot,
going
dot,
to come
dot.
back.
Hopefully not. I like that.
That's what we're going to
Very
say.
good. Yeah.
Very PR'd.
Yeah.
But what are you proudest of achieving with that show?
On a personal note, letting people see that even if you're 6'2" in heels, you still have every kind of doubtful thought and every vulnerability as much as the next person. As a collective, I think we've created something that is timeless and will rival the likes of Friends in terms of just making people feel good, making you feel like you're dropping into a dopamine-giving group of pals. It's been really life-changing for me, and I have so much to thank Sudeikis for that, because he wasn't intimidated by the fact that I'm a tall, front-footed woman. He thought, well, no, she can play vulnerability. So it's really just blown the doors open in my career.